Blessings, everyone. All the peace, all the love, all the blessing you deserve. My question is today for this live is, do you want to lose your hair? Do you want to lose your hair? Because stress single-handedly is causing many women to lose all of their hair. I just had 2 consultations last week of women who lost 85% of their hair within a few days. 85%. Tap in. Do you want to lose your hair? If y'all saw what I saw, you will know it ain't even worth it. It's not worth it. Today we're going to talk about stress overload and self-neglect and how that is the wrong combination. Wrong combination. And you ain't worried now because it hasn't happened to you. But when I'm consulting with women all over the world, so there is nobody's safe from this. I'm talking about beautiful hair gone overnight, within a few days, gone because of stress. Tap in. Self overload, self neglect, bad combination, and we're all guilty of it. Yes. All right, tap in, you guys. Okay, so a lot of a lot of us are losing our hair or having stress overload and self-neglect because of like 2 reasons. One, you in things that's not your business. You worried about things that's not even your business. It's not even your business. And because you're so focused on other people's business, you're lacking self-care. You're so busy not being able to say no, not creating boundaries to say no, wanting to people please people, wanting to find value on what you're doing for other people, depending on other people to tell you they love you and tell you you're beautiful and build your confidence, or you dealing with worldly stuff. That ain't your business. It's not your business. And you're absorbing all of this, and it's causing a lot of buildup in your body on top of the buildup that you already have. Because you don't even realize that you're carrying things that's not your business from 14 generations back. That's what you don't know. You're carrying other people's business from 14 generations back. You carrying your mama business, your grandma business, your great-grandma business, her mother's business, and her mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. Like all of their business. You already carrying that. And you got the nerve to be taking on all this extra outside business that don't got nothing to do with you. And because of that, you're not prioritizing your self-care. So we're going to talk about that. And I know you can relate. I was once there too. A lot of us go through this, okay? So 2, you are spending too much energy on things that you cannot control. There are things that are happening in your life that a lot of them you cannot control. It's literally a part of your life's makeup. You can't go to the next season without the things that you're going through right now, right? So you're deciding to be stuck in something you can't control, and you're putting a lot of energy trying to change it because you don't like it, because it doesn't feel good, because it doesn't look good. But the reality is, just because it doesn't look good, just because it doesn't feel good, doesn't mean that it's not supporting your higher good. Your priorities are wrong. Your priorities are disconnected. You are out of alignment somewhere. And life is nothing but school. Life is a whole school, and your only job is to extract the lessons out this thing. That's your job. Not to be trying to focus on changing what's a part of your life makeup. You can't change. Just some things that you cannot change. Now, some things you can change. Some things you are in better control of, right? Like deciding to work out when you want to lose weight or you want to look healthier. Deciding to eat better. Those things you can't control, but life things, some things you just can't control. And what you have to learn is, if you cannot change the situation, you're going to have to learn how to change the definition of the situation. Those are your only 2 options. or you're going to be stuck. And you're going to create your own suffering. So either change the situation, and that comes with making a choice in itself. You're in a relationship, it's not serving you, you're unhappy, you're drained. Change it. Walk. Leave. If you try everything you could do, if you did therapy, if you just know in your soul it ain't right, leave. Okay? If you unhealthy, if you feel unhealthy, if you feel like you got a lot of fat on you, you want to lose it. Lose it. Okay? Them type of decisions, you can control those decisions. But if there's certain things that are happening that you cannot control, like you got fired from your job, you have to learn how to extract lessons out of things. And you have to be so steadfast and unwavering in your faith, so much that you stay the course. You cannot control, all you got to do is know your why. You cannot control how things happen, okay? You cannot control how you're going to get to your destination. You know deep down where you're going. You can connect with that person, right? You cannot control how you get there. You can't ask to, make $1 million, right? But aren't willing to go through what it takes to get there, right? You can't ask to be married and not be willing to go through what it takes to get there. It ain't all peaches and creams here. You have to accept your life process, okay? So 2 things we just went over. You are having a lot of stress overload and self-neglect, and you losing hair, and you think that it's normal shedding. A lot of this shedding is not normal. A lot of this shedding is premature shedding. You're losing it before you are supposed to lose it, because every hair strand has a lifespan, but you're losing it before its time is up, right? And stress is playing a huge role, because stress builds up cortisol in your body. That's a not so good hormone. Now, a good hormone is like dopamine, right? Or endorphins, right? Those support your hair growth. Cortisol does not. Cortisol sends a signal, a message right up onto your follicle and say, hey, stop all activity. It's a wrap. It's done. Break time. We're going on strike. And your hair falls out because it disconnects from the source that's feeding it. So if it's not getting fed, it's going to die. Right? So stress is nothing to play with here, right? And I feel like a lot of us are out here, we're trying to people please. We don't know how to say no. We're so focused and worried about just taking care of other people, which is, then you go into the realm of self-neglect, and you got to think, how did I get here? I can speak from experience, you guys. I spent years, 2014, I was on a 3-month, I was hospitalized for 3 months, damn near dying. Okay. I didn't even know that I would make it. Okay. 3 months in the hospital as a relatively healthy person. 3 months. 3. And I had to think back, like, how did I get here? I'm working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. I'm a single mother of 2 kids, 6 days a week. 16-hour days, single mother of 2 kids. Did y'all catch the equation? Did you catch the equation? 16-hour days, 6 days a week as a single mother of 2 kids on my own. That just leaves Sunday. That's it. And you got homework, you got to wash, you got to do this, you got to do that. And if you work a 16-hour day, 6 days a week, you not even physically capable of doing anything on Sunday, like myself. And I have to think back, like, where did I learn that behavior to self-neglect myself, to self-abandon myself, to self-sabotage myself? Like, where did that behavior come from? That is a learned behavior. That's a learned behavior. All right? That you weren't born to do that. You didn't. That's a lot of suffering. You create a lot of suffering when you do that, right? You weren't created to suffer. So where did you learn this behavior? Where did you get that from? That it was okay to not pay attention to your needs, and that everybody else's needs were way more important to you. Way more important than yours. So much that you're physically harming yourself by neglecting yourself. Think about that. Right? So we have to learn how to reel it in. We got to learn how to build our own self-worth, build our own self-love, enough to be able to create some boundaries to where our self-care is a priority. It's a priority. Because if you don't have, if you're not grounded in self-care, you're not going to be able to handle life. Life ain't no kind of joke, y'all. You know, I know, because we all done been through all kind of stuff. Some of us are going through the worst part of our lives right now. Life is no joke, right? But you're trying to fight a war with no weapons, right? So you have to develop a level of self-care, especially like right now. Right now it's evening time where you guys are, more than likely. It's morning time where I am. So I live in Bali, Indonesia. I relocated about a month and a half ago. But if you've been following me, you probably know that. So, you know, things for self-care, like especially at night, y'all gotta do, man, y'all, I bet you nobody on here, who has a self-care routine in the evening? Who on here actually dedicates time to themselves right before they go to sleep? Or you looking at your phone, looking at all these fights, looking at all this war, looking at all this disagreement, looking at all this anger, looking at the news, and then you go to sleep on that. Y'all have to do better. You have to do better. Do you know how powerful your body is when you go to sleep? Do you know what's happening when you go to sleep? You want to put positive energy into your body before you go to sleep. You want to affirm yourself before you go to sleep. You want to pray before you go to sleep. You want to meditate before you go to sleep. You want to visualize before you go to sleep. You want to journal before you go to sleep. You want to practice mindfulness before you go to sleep. You can literally create your own world instead of letting everybody else control your world. Instead of getting caught up in everybody else's world. You can literally create the world that you want to see, that you want to experience, single-handedly, if you understood the power of just this alone. Just this. Affirmation, prayer, meditation, mindfulness, breath work, visualization. Either one or all. Right before you go to sleep. Like when you wake up in the morning, you have such a shield, like such a protective shield around you. You will realize that things that normally would piss you off or that disturb your peace, you'd be like, that ain't even worth it. That is not worth it. You start to develop this belief system that negativity is not my friend. And if it's not making me feel good, if it's not brightening up my light, the light that I already have within me, if it's not complimenting my light, if it's not lifting me up, inspiring me, motivating me in some type of way, it ain't even worth it. It's not even worth it. I sleep off while researching as a PhD student. I'm telling y'all, you have to learn how to protect yourself here. People are losing all of their hair. Now, it's not like during the pandemic time, it was way worse. Hair loss went up by 400% during the pandemic time. I seen it myself. I witnessed it. People coming in, husband cheating, lost their hair. Somebody got fired from their job, lost their hair. Somebody, into it with their kids or even lost their kids, lost their hair. And then even the little small stuff, just the pandemic in itself, nothing else going on, but just the pandemic in itself, lost their hair. Literally, okay? So Prioritize your self-care. What are you doing for yourself? Like, are you exercising? Or are you walking? Or are you praying and meditation, things I talked about? Or are you drinking a lot of water? Or are you putting fruit into your body? Journaling is very powerful because nobody judges you when you're journaling. So many things come out. So many things come out when you are able to just free write. It would shock you. It's almost like you're not even the one that's writing. It would shock you because you realize how much stuff you hold in on a day-to-day, because you feel like you can't really talk to everybody about everything. Because why? Because you're afraid of being criticized. You're afraid of being judged. But when you write, if you just do something simple as pick up a pen and a piece of paper and just start writing, you have to become an observer of yourself. Because right now you're too lost, you're too trapped. It's too many things working against you. You got a lot of drugs in your body from food. You got a lot of trauma, your trauma and 14 generations worth of trauma in your body. This is a fact. This is proven. You got the world feeding you all kind of propaganda and crime and this and that and fights and anger. It's against, the odds are really like against you if you don't do stuff like this. If your self-care is not prioritized, you get lost in it. You get lost in it. It's like you seeing a tornado and you just walk yourself up to the tornado to get taken off your feet. That does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. So you have to build your protective shield. You have to brighten your light as much as possible, right? Your light can't already be dim when you wake up. One wrong thing, guess what? You off the edge. We don't have enough emotional regulation to handle what's going on in this world. We don't. Self-care helps you emotionally regulate. And that leads me into the second thing. Like, you guys got to understand that life by itself really don't have a meaning. It's really only defined by the meaning that you give it. And your emotions determine your quality of life, right? So if there's things, so I told you earlier on, the second one was like you are getting too caught up in things that you really can't control, right? And some things you can control. I kind of let you know a few things in it, for example, things you can't control, but some things that you just can't control because it's a part of your life makeup. It's a part of building you and making you into who you are today. Because sometimes we're just carrying things that's not serving us that we really can't carry into the new season because you can't build old house on old structure, right? So you got to release it, but you don't know you got to release it. So life is going to support you. God is going to support you. You can't ask for the support of God and not be willing to go through what it takes to get to where you want to be. You got your nerve. You really got your nerve, right? And so in order to emotionally regulate, it's only two options you have. The things that you're going through, you get trapped in the pain of it, get stuck in the pain of it and create your own suffering and just be stuck. Or you extract the lesson out of it. You extract the lesson out of it, which allows you to grow. Only two options. So whatever you're going through right now, I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. But that doesn't mean that it's not supporting you. If you can step outside of the victim and be an observer instead of getting too emotionally attached to being the victim, you're going to see things so much differently. Because life is really about mastering your thoughts, mastering your body, listening to your body, connecting to your higher awareness, connecting to God, right? So that's really, that's how you really master life. That's how you really get control of it. You may not be able to control the situations, but you can control how you view the situations. For example, my husband cheated, right? I'm not married. I've never been married and my husband didn't cheat. I'm just giving you an example. Husband cheated. Do you know how many patients I have had who lost all of their hair because their husband cheated, right? How do you know your real soulmate ain't waiting? Like, how you gonna get the real one if this one in the way? This is just an example, right? Some of the lessons you may have, you can probably learn in that. Because nobody is just catching you off guard. You see the signs. You feel the signs. You just choose to neglect the signs, right? Okay, let me be a little bit more aware of things. Let me not hold my tongue. These are the lessons. If this doesn't work, I have an opportunity to be in another marriage. Let me make sure I don't hold my tongue. If something doesn't feel right, honor that feeling and don't be afraid to speak up. That's a lesson you can extract from. Instead of being so focused on my husband cheated, life is over. Life is over. Right? That's the first thought. That's the thought that we choose to sit in. Anger, we focus on the betrayal of it, and it hurts. I'm not saying ignore the hurt, because it's very important to feel. This is important. This is a part of emotional regulation. It's giving yourself permission to feel, but also knowing what to do with the feeling that best serves you and how you show up in the world for the people you love, right? And the people you're helping, right? So that's just a lesson, but a lot of us, life is over. That's the belief system. Life is over. So if you feel life is over, if you create a world that life is done, life is over, what do you think is going to show up? Life has no meaning no more. If you give life no meaning, nothing shows up. You get what I'm saying? So you have to, and the only thing that can really help you, now we can go a lot deeper. And in fact, join my subscription, because we're going way deeper than this, okay? A lot of us have belief system. A lot of us have traumas. We're wondering why we're blocked. We're wondering why we blocked, but we're not realizing that we have belief system that we adopted long time ago that you aren't even aware of. And that what you are trying to achieve right now is bouncing off of you. Like, really what's set up for you is bouncing off of you, because have a belief system in your energy that's bouncing off of it, right? I hope I ain't lose y'all with that one. A lot of the things that we want in life, for example, just talk about marriage, for example. We really want to get married, right? But some of us have belief systems that marriages don't work. Like a real belief system. Your belief system is the most powerful thing that is navigating how your body and your world works. Okay, without a belief system, you don't create a potential. You can't create potential without a belief system, right? Your belief system creates a potential that influences the action that creates the results that you want, right? So if you feel, because you saw marriages not work when you were younger, but then you grew up and you saw all this marriage on TV and you feel lonely, you have a spirit of loneliness, and you really want to be married, or you want to have a covenant under God, right? But you're not realizing that you have a belief system that they don't work. I don't think y'all understand how this thing works. A lot of us are operating subconsciously. Like, we don't realize that we have things in our subconscious that's really controlling our life. And we wonder why we can't get control of our life, right? Like, you believe that whatever is designed, whatever that you want is in the sky somewhere. It's like unreachable. Like, okay, you want to get promoted in this job. You want to be this manager, or you want to start your business, or you want to buy this house, or you want to get married, or you want this car, or you want your kids to be you. All of these things, your belief system is that they're all the way over there somewhere in the sky, in the space. And you got to do all of these things to chase it, right? When the reality is it's already in front of you. And so your only job is to really figure out what's blocking you from touching it, from feeling it, from tasting it, from smelling it, right? If this makes sense, okay? So I talk to a lot, I have a lot of customers that book consultations, virtual consultations with me. Greetings from Amsterdam. Love your products. Thank you, Claudia _sparkling. Speaking of products, our products are going to help you. My products are going to help you. But what I really want to do is just empower you to create a life create sustainability in what it does for you. In other words, right? Because in any, like, nothing you want to be codependent on. You don't want to have to be codependent on something in order to live or have a decent life or to look great, right? You don't want to be dependent on it, right? So what is it that you can do in your life? Because stress causes hair loss, nutrition causes hair loss. Like, your lifestyle can cause you to lose hair, right? So if you're on our products and you're stressing and you're not eating well, our products is going to save you. So it's going to prevent the disaster from happening, right? But why would you want to be spending all this money on my products to prevent a disaster when you can make lifestyle choices that help go along and help promote what the product is doing and get to results and sustain the results even better and get to results even faster, if that makes sense? So this is why I spend a lot of time talking about these things, because I see this happening. I see tons of women losing their hair all the time. And I know women, we can carry some stress, honey. We can carry some stress. We carry the weight of the world, honestly, right? And so I can't just say, okay, here are some products like everybody else is doing. I have to bring to the forefront the things that are causing these issues so that you could be aware, so that you can make the better decisions. And I have to give you solutions for them. That is my profession. That is my superpower. That is what I do. I tie in a holistic health approach path to high functioning scalp and hair. If you're just joining me and you've never been on one of my lives, that's what I do. So when women or even men, I've had consultations with men as well, they book too. When they are booking a consultation with me, they're losing hair, their hair is thinning, they have some scalp issues, they feel like they're stressing a lot, and they feel like that's playing a role with their hair. They lack the necessary, I guess, willpower. They feel like they lack the necessary willpower to make better choices when it comes to their food, right? And they need help with that, right? So these are the reasons why, because we have to break those things down, because they're all tied. Everything is connected. I can't help you with your hair without asking you, okay, what's going on inside of your body? Do you have any type of illness? Like, what is blocking your hair from reaching its full potential, right? That is one of my biggest focuses, okay? And so when we talk about stress, we got to really break down stress. I have to really kind of get in your business, because there's a misalignment somewhere, and I have to help you line it back up. Okay. So that's pretty much what I wanted to come on here today. I was inspired because I had 2 consultations last week where 2 women lost 85% of their hair overnight. One overnight, one within a few days. Sad. So sad. And you don't think about it until it happens to you. But stress can single-handedly do that. Stress single-handedly creates cortisol in your body that sends signals to 80 to 85% of your hair. It can. Your active hair growth phase is always 80 to 85% hair follicles in the active hair growth phase. So if it sends signals to all of those active hair growth phases, follicles, and tell them to shut down, you're going to lose 80 to 85% of your hair. And I have to do what I possibly can to enlighten you. Let's just eliminate the stress. But it takes work. You don't just say, oh, okay, I'm not going to stress tomorrow. That's not how it works. That's like going to a war, a whole full-out war with no weapons. You have to have weapons. What are those weapons? Is what I'm challenging you to figure out. It's in your self-care routine. It's in your self-care routine. So before we get off, the 2 things we talked about was you staying out of other people's business, and you stop wasting so much energy on trying to control things that you have no control over. And if you cannot control the situation, you need to be trying to control the definition of the situation, how you define the situation, because that's how you gain control. And then that helps you develop your emotional regulation skills. Because if you're no longer seeing it as something happening to me, this is the end of the world, so this is happening to me, this always happened to me, oh, this person don't love me, or this person don't, if you stop seeing it like that and see it as, okay, and extract the lesson out of it, okay, why is this happening to me? Oh, because I'm codependent. Why am I codependent? Oh, because I lack self-worth. Well, why do I lack self-worth? Because this happened to me when I was, younger, whatever the case may be, right? Okay, so then I need to reverse that. I need to practice self-worth. How do I practice self-worth? I need to practice self-care. I need to show myself with action that I can love myself. Because the reality is you can't even really give true love and receive real love. I'm talking about real love. Unless you love yourself. How? How can you give something that you really don't have? How can it be sustainable, and how can it not drain you if you don't have it? Think about it. We got a lot of unhappy mothers out here. I was an unhappy single mother for a very long time. It was hard. It was very hard. And I was an entrepreneur too, right? But I look back at that type of mom, and I look back at this mom who I've been the last, 10 years, and I think, wow, like there is a big difference. Like back then I thought I was giving love, but really, how much love was I really giving when I didn't have any myself? Like truly, right? And then now I look like, wow, like I practiced so much. I developed so much self-love for myself. And the love that I give hit different now. It hits so different now. And I can see the effects of it. It's just totally different, right? So self-care is really important. Like right now, it's evening time. I challenge you. Y'all know if you become on my lives, I'm always giving some type of very simple assignment or challenge. I would say challenge, because don't nobody like assignments or homework. Because I want you to take action. I want you to implement things, because all you have to, the hardest part is just doing it, getting it started. That's the hardest part. So right now it's probably evening time where you are. It's morning time where I am. Either before you go to sleep, you should not, please stop it. If you can do this one thing, you're going to notice a transformation in your life. Yes, the consultations do cost, because if they didn't, I'll have a million of them, and there's just no possible way that I could do it. So they do cost. Some of them are more than others, depending on which one you decide to go with. But if all of those, or if none of those fit your budget, join the subscription, $9.99. There is no excuse. I make a way for everybody, because I don't want you to be discouraged because it's not in your budget, or you can't afford a consultation, right? So I don't want you guys to be on your phone looking at the news. Somebody got killed, somebody got choked, somebody got stabbed, somebody got molested, a little 3-year-old got kidnapped and can't be found, or somebody going to jail, or these people fighting, or these people going in on somebody because they angry. You sitting around watching a whole bunch of angry people, and that's how you going to sleep. I challenge you, if you want to do that, fine, okay? If you want to do that, fine, because I understand that social media and all of that stuff can be addictive, right? But where do you come in at? Are those things more important than you, right? I challenge you to, before you go to sleep, either of the 5 or 6, affirm yourself. Affirmations, right? If you feel like you got low self-esteem, if you feel like your confidence is low, if you're just feeling low, affirm the mess out of yourself, okay? If you feel like you don't have money, it is or that, whatever you feel like is vibrating on a really low level, lift it up by affirming yourself, okay? Money is chasing me. Money loves me. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am more than capable of going to the gym. I'm more than capable of eating in a way that best serves me. Like, you got to affirm it. Okay? Because it starts with the belief system. So affirm yourself in the evening before you go to sleep. This should be the last thing. We're not even going to talk about the morning right now. The morning is something different. Since it's evening where you are, this is where we're starting. Okay? Morning is something. This shouldn't be the first thing that you grab in the morning. I'm telling you. You're going to war without no weapons. You're going to life war without no weapons. And wonder why you are not emotionally regulated. I wonder why anything that happens, big or small, you losing it. You're losing control. You're sad and depressed. You're depressed. You have anxiety. You can't show up for the people you love, right? So affirmations, meditation. There's tons of meditations on YouTube that you can pull up. 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes, at least 5 minutes. Just sit there and breathe through your diaphragm too. If you think about a baby on its back when it's born, baby are just the most pure and perfect representation of who we are as beings, right? They breathe properly. When they lay on their back, you see their stomach inflate like a balloon, and you see their stomach deflate when they breathe out. So when they breathe in, their stomach inflates. When they breathe out, they let the air out of the balloon. Just imagine a balloon, right? We breathe through our chest and wonder why we have anxiety, wonder why our blood pressure is quick, wonder why our heart is pounding, wonder why we have monkey brain and monkey mind. You're out of control. Everything about you is out of control. And I'm trying to help you gain better control of your life. And it's really not that hard, okay? So affirmation, meditation. There is no excuse. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothingness and bridges to nowhere. Affirmation. Get a pen, get a paper, or just speak it out loud. If you got to put it on a sticky note and put it on your mirror everywhere you go, do that, okay? Affirmations, meditation. Silence your mind as best as you can. Don't reject feelings, but just focus on your breathing like I told you about. And because once you focus on breathing the right way, you can't really think and breathe the right way, because you're so far from breathing the right way right now, right? That if you focus on actually breathing properly to calm things down, you can't even have a thought. So if you're in your thought, you're going to realize that you're not breathing properly. Okay? Join my subscription, because we're going deeper into breath work. Breath work is one of the most powerful things, and it's the most easy, simple things that you can learn to master your life and master your brain. Okay, so visualization. So affirmation, meditation, visualization. Just sit there and visualize what you want in your life. This is not hard. So instead of focus on everybody being in other people business on the phone, visualize what you want for your life. Do y'all know I live in Bali right now? Bali, Indonesia, on the other side of the world. Okay? Where there is no crime, where there is so much love, where there is an abundant amount of nature and fruits with seeds and fresh food restaurants that you can walk into and pay $2 for a fresh meal. Okay? I drink coconut water every single day off the tree. I have a papaya tree right now. I have a banana tree. I have a coconut tree. All of that. Do you know I visualized that? Do you know that I visualized that? I ain't just no regular smuggler that just didn't have nothing. I built a whole empire where I lived. I had Airbnbs. I had a salon. I had a hair loss clinic. I had I still have my home. It's on the market right now. I had a QX Infinity 8. Like, I had a lot going on, right? How in the world did I get here? How in the world did I get here? I connected with my soul at night. And I said, what is it that I want? What is it that I feel like would bring me peace? And I visualized ocean. I visualized this thing here, okay? It didn't just pop out of nowhere. I visualized it, all right? Visualization, however you want to see your life. You have the power to create the world that you want to see, that you want to experience. And that's the thing. Y'all don't understand the power that you have. That's the biggest problem of it all. The biggest problem is that you don't understand the power that you have to create the world that you want to see and experience. That's the biggest problem. The second biggest problem is that you believe that you shouldn't have problems. That's the second biggest problem. You believe that problems shouldn't exist. That's the second problem. No matter if you're broke, if you're rich, if you're skinny, if you're fat, if you're poor, it don't matter. Everybody, problems occur. It's really just how do you look at it, which was the second thing we talked about here. Like, how do you define it? How do you define the problems that best serves you? That is the winner in the life game. Whoever can learn how to extract the lessons out their problems and make it into something beautiful. That's the winner of the game. That's the person who's more grounded. That's the person who don't have as much stress, who don't have as much sadness, who don't have as much depression, who don't have as much anxiety. That's a problem that actually problems that they would normally have when they were in that state of mind don't even occur no more. When you are low vibrational, when you have low confidence, low self-esteem, you attract people that feed off that. I don't attract nobody that's come into my life and just treat me bad or ignorant. Or people come into my life treat me how I treat myself. Period. Because you're going to bounce off my energy, because I don't have a world that you can survive in. You're going to come into my world and you're going to suffocate. You're not going to be able to breathe. You're not going to have enough oxygen, because that's not the energy that I hold. Right? So we talked about a lot today, you guys, and so I'm challenging you. Prayer too. Absolute prayer. And there's so many different ways you can go about, prayer. But for me, I guess this is two things: prayer and mantra, right? So there was times I can remember there was a whole year where I meditated and repeated one quote: God is within her, she would not fall. God is within me, I would not fall. God is within me, I would not fall. God is within me, I would not fall. For an entire year, every day, sometimes twice a day. Because I was going through something so devastating for me. It was one of the hardest times of my life. Right? So maybe back in 2015, one whole year, find you a scripture, repeat it until you believe it, because the key is believing it, because believing it is what creates the potential for anything that it is that you truly desire, and anything that is truly set up for you already. Right? Remember, before we hop off, that the things that you want are not in space. They're not in space. They're not so far in the sky that you can't reach it, that you feel like you got to do all these things to chase it. Because what's for you is already for you. It's already here. It's already there already. I need you to know that it's already there for you. But you can't dictate how life goes in order for you to touch it. Your job is to find out what's blocking you from touching it, what's blocking you from feeling it, what's blocking you from smelling it, what's blocking you from tasting it. That's your only job, to figure out what is blocking you. Okay? And the only way to figure that out is to prioritize your self-care. Period. You have to stop staying out of other people's business, and you have to focus on your own business. And you can't spend a whole bunch of time focusing on your business that you can't control. You need to be focusing on how to change the definition and the meaning of your business that you can't control, so that it best serves you. And if it's something that you can control, you need to just do it. Stop trying to be perfect. You need to take imperfect action every day, because if you try to be perfect, you ain't never going to get it done. Like, I want to lose weight. Today, Thursday. Well, I'm going to start on Monday. Why? Start now. Go outside, get off social media, go outside and walk for 20 minutes. Go outside and jump rope for 20 minutes. Go outside and do some squats. It's not that hard. Y'all make it too hard. It's not that hard to do. Okay? So hopefully, if you're just coming in, welcome in. I'm Abracadabra. I am Abra McField, Hair Growth Capital of the World CEO. I'm an American Certified Trichologist. And I tie this holistic health into high-functioning scalp and hair, right? So you're going to get both. But you're not going to find it. You're not going to find a person that really, really knows hair and really, really knows health, okay? Not just know it, but who's an advocate of it, who is an evangelist of it. I don't want people to suffer. I don't want you to suffer when I know you weren't created to suffer, and I know that you don't want to suffer. But sometimes we just can't find our way out of it, right? And so I'm here to navigate that process. And it's so many levels to it, right? Because your stress affects your hair loss, your hair. Your nutrition affects your hair, your sleep, your hydration, like your products that you're using, chemicals in the products. There's a lot of things that can really affect how your hair and your scalp functions, right? So there's a lot that you get here when I hop on live. There's a lot of value. So I highly encourage you just sharing it. If you know, for this particular live, if you know somebody who is really stressed, even if their hair not falling out, because it's not just about catching it when it happens and trying to fix it after it happens. It's about preventative measures as well. All right. So if you know somebody that's stressed, share it with somebody. Okay. Because we need as much help as we can get here. So we talked about a lot. If you feel like you need more support, you need more help, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me, or you can join my subscription. If I have something that fits everyone's budget. I have something that fits every single person's budget. Okay, so there is no excuse if there is some place that you want to be and you just don't have the tools, the resources, or the knowledge to get there. That's okay. How bad do you want to get there? Is the question that you need to ask yourself. If you don't want to get there that bad, if you lose hair and you don't really care, then this doesn't apply. If your hair thin, if it's not as thick as it used to be, if you feel like it gets to this one length and then it stops all the time and never get past that length, and you're okay with that, then this doesn't apply. If you feel like you are stuck, blocked, but you see where you're supposed to be, but just no matter what you do, nothing seems to work. It just seems like you can't get there, but you don't care. Doesn't apply. So, as always, I am honored that you guys decide to come on and spend time with me, because I know it's evening where you all are. Just remember the challenge that I gave you guys before you go to sleep. Instead of being on your phone, you can't say that you want these certain things in life, but you're not willing to do just this one little thing. Instead of being on your phone and watching crime and watching angry people and watching people lose stuff and watching people kill stuff and kidnap kids and all in the election business and all of that stuff, instead of doing that before you go to sleep, you need to affirm yourself and the things that you want. You need to meditate. You need to visualize how you see yourself and what you want. You need to pray. I would even go as far as picking a scripture that's pertaining to what you need right now in this season right now, and making that a mantra. Making that a mantra for you, okay? For example, mine was God is within me, I will not fall. I took that scripture and meditated on that scripture for an entire year, right? You got to know that life, you're always evolving, right? So I no longer need that scripture, because I already believe there's nothing. I don't care what it look like or feel like. I ain't falling. I don't care what it looked like. Getting to Bali was a big old sacrifice, right? And I could view it to see it as a loss, or I could view it to see it as a release in order for me to be who I'm here to really be, right? So life is just about evolving. You pick things and you utilize things that best serves you right now in this season. But guess what? You're going to grow. You're going to evolve. And you may not necessarily need those things anymore in that way, right? Good evening. And yes, I'm on it. I will also share this to many I know. Thank you so much, Drina S. Alliance of Trees. That's one of my certified technicians out of Illinois and one of my subscription family. So affirmation, visualization, prayer, mantra. You can either take a scripture from the Bible and use that as a mantra meditation, or visualization. Visualization. If you're just not joining me, I visualize myself where I am right now. Like I used to just literally, before I go to sleep, I visualize myself like waking up, the weather is beautiful, ocean, nature, fruit with seeds, like really like healthy fruit with seeds, like a place full of love, like and support, no crime. Like I didn't even know there was a place on earth that didn't have crime. 4 million people on the island that I'm on now, and there's really no crime. There's people not killing each other here. I didn't even know that existed. But guess what? I still visualized it. Because you create your own world. And I need y'all to understand understand the power that you have in this. Right? So if you're just not joining me, you absolutely want to make sure you go back and watch the lives. And of course, if you need support, if anything resonated with you, you can DM me, you can message me, you can book a one-on-one, you could join my subscription as we're about to start really going deeper into things. And we can get to our best self and get our hair living its best life. Like that's really the goal of this thing, like looking good and feeling good. Not even just good. Good is really like not even a word, like just feeling vitality. There's nothing more healthier, great, good in terms of how you feel than vitality, right? That's just what I want. Now, I told you guys I had a near-death experience before. It could be from that, you know, but I don't feel like you should have to go through a near-death experience to want that for your life. So this is why I hop on here. This is why I'm a servant in this regard, because I truly want to help give you guys a different perspective, help you guys be observers of your life so that you can stop getting lost in your own world and realize that the world that you are in is the world that you created, and that you have the power to create a different world if you want that. You just need a little bit of navigation or guidance sometimes, right? So that's what I'm here for. All right. So thank you guys so much. All the peace, all the love, all the blessings. Please get a really good night rest. Please take on my challenge of not looking on your phone. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that protection. Give yourself that necessary care that you need, nurturing that you need. There's actually more, but we're not going to get into it right now. But I gave you the basic things that you can do at night. Once you get through those, once you're able to do those things, then we can even go a little bit deeper. But join the subscription. But definitely use those basic tools that you have for self-care to nurture yourself and give yourself the care that it needs so that you are much more grounded. And this little stuff that's happening in the world that would normally knock you off your feet, you'll be looking like, that ain't even worth it. And then you'll get to the point where you don't even attract certain things that people just be all thrown off about. I don't even know. I have no idea. It hasn't found me because my soul, my energy don't want that. All right. So if that makes sense to y'all, right? So thank you so much, you guys. As always, I will see you next time.